Hello, OK crew, and welcome back to another yoga class. Today we're really going to be focusing on the side body, so strengthening, stretching, really making sure we're nice and mobile through our core. So that's really the focus today. We're going to spend a lot of time warming it up, working it out, and then cooling down properly. We're all going to meet at the top of our mat in Tadasana. I'm going to stay kind of in the middle of my mat so that you can see me in frame well. So in Tadasana, your toes can be together, heels slightly apart, or you can take a hips width apart. Again, just finding what's most comfortable for you. Arms will be down by your side, palms facing open. Your chin is slightly tucked, almost giving yourself a double chin to find elongation through the back of the spine and the neck. Your gaze can be directly out in front, or you can gently close your eyes as we just do our typical head to toe body scan, seeing how you feel today so that you know how much that you can push yourself. Take just a few breaths here to prepare the body for movement. And then sweep your arms up overhead, palms touch. Clasp your fingers, leaving your pointer finger and thumb up. Biceps are by your ears. Chest is open. And then begin to side bend over to the left. So hands will come to the left, hips will come out to the right. Warming up the side body here. Inhale back to center. Shooting your hips out to the opposite direction. Arms come down to the right this time. And again, make sure that when you're going through this, that your chest doesn't cave forward, but that you're staying nice and open to the front of the room. Inhale back to center. We'll come down the other way. We'll go through these a little bit quicker now to warm up the body, following the pattern of your breath. Inhaling to center, exhaling over. Inhale to center, exhale over. We'll do this 2 more times. Again, following your breath, letting the movement sync up with the pattern of your breathing. And again, meeting all at center, arms can come down by your sides. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, palms touch, gaze follows. Exhale, hinge at the hips to forward fold. Let the head hang heavy. We'll stay in this forward fold a little bit just to warm up the back of the thighs, give them a nice stretch. You can sway side to side, arms can reach for opposite elbows. And then on an inhale, palms come to shins or just above your knees to push up to flat back. Again, finding length in the spine and the back of the neck. Exhale down to forward fold. Plant your palms and step your feet back into high plank, high push-up. You have the option to lower down to your knees or shift the weight into your hands, squeeze your elbows into your sides as you lower down through your push-up. Chest first, and then your hips. Extend your legs out behind you. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, push up into downward facing dog. We'll hold this for 5 breaths. So use it as an opportunity to pedal out your feet here. Maybe sway your hips side to side. Play with the placement of your hands. You can take a wider grip if you need to help draw your head between your shoulders. Or maybe try a wider stance with your feet if that helps you get your tailbone pointing up. Take 1 more deep inhale and exhale. And then on your next inhale, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look between your hands, and step to the front of your mat, back into a forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. And then ragdoll your way up to stand. Slow and controlled. Your head comes up last. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, sink your hips down and back, coming into chair pose. Check your knees, make sure that you can see your toes. And then make sure you can lift your toes and wiggle them, making sure that the weight is in the base of your foot, so in your heel as well as the ball of your foot, but not so much in your toes. Exhale your hands down to heart center. Twist over your right side. You have the option, if you have the mobility in your spine, to hook your left elbow over your right knee. This is twisted chair pose. Begin to lift your left heel up away from the mat, and then carefully step it behind you, coming into a low twisted crescent lunge. Really trying to open up your chest to the side wall, drawing your thumbs to your chest. Inhale, spiral up, coming into warrior two. Again, your back foot, so your left foot is parallel to the back of the mat. We're looking for heel to arch alignment. Your right knee is checking over the outside of your foot, making sure that's not caving inwards. We really want to protect the inside of your knee, the ligaments in this side of the knee. Gaze is over your middle finger. Your shoulders are stacked over top of your hips, so we're not leaning forwards or backwards. And then on an inhale, straighten your front leg. Kick your hips out to the back wall as you lean forward as far as you can. And then lower your hand on your shin or maybe your ankle, or if you can, all the way down to the floor into triangle pose. In triangle, our shoulders are stacked. Our chest is opening up to the side wall. Again, if you're up here, this is still a good triangle pose. We really want to focus on opening up the chest rather than trying to force ourselves all the way down, but now we're closing the chest like this. So just find the variation that allows you to find that opening and that twisting of the core. Inhale to come to stand, lunge back into that front knee, back into our warrior two. Exhale, windmill your hands down to frame the front foot. Right foot steps back to meet left into our high plank, high push-up. This time, roll onto the outside of your right foot, inside of your left, to come into a side plank. Really trying to hike up those hips, squeezing the right side. Your shoulders are stacked. You have the option to come down onto your knees if you would like, or to make it harder, raise your left foot. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Close your plank back into a standard plank. You can come down to your knees or shift the weight into your hands. Squeeze your elbows into your sides as you lower down, chest first, then hips through your push-up. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale to tuck your toes. Lift your hips up and back into downward facing dog. I'm going to introduce you into a three-legged dog variation that gives a nice hip opener. So inhale your right foot up behind you, bend your knee, and then begin to lower your foot, your right foot down to the left side to get a nice hip opener in the right side. However, you want to keep equal weight in your hands. So your upper body is still straight as if you were in a regular downward dog, but your lower body is starting to twist. So I'll come over here so you can see what I mean. So my upper body is still relatively straight and it's my lower body that's twisting over. And then lower your foot back down. Back into our standard or downward facing dog. On an inhale, come up onto your toes. Bend your knees, look between your hands, and step to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, but sink your hips down and back into our chair pose. Draw your hands down to heart center and begin to twist over to the left. You have the option to stay upright if this gives you a nice twist, or if you have the mobility, you can draw your right elbow over left knee into a full twisted chair. Again, our goal is to try to get our thumbs towards our sternum. So really opening up through the right side. On an inhale, peel your right heel away from the mat and carefully step it behind you into a low crescent lunge, the twisted crescent lunge. Again, still trying to open up the chest to the side wall. On an inhale, we're twisting up and around into warrior two. Back foot, so your right foot is parallel to the back of the mat. Left foot is going for heel to arch alignment, and your knees tracking over the baby toe side of your foot. Hips and shoulders stacked. Straighten your front knee, kick your hips out to the back, leaning forward, trying to reach the front wall, and then when you can't move any further, slowly lowering your left hand down towards the ground. Right hand comes up towards the ceiling, shoulders are stacked. Again, the goal here is to reach for whatever part of your leg that allows you to open up the chest here. Inhale, come to stand. Bend back into that left knee, that front leg, into your warrior two. And then windmill your hands down to frame your front foot. Left foot steps back to meet right. And then this time, roll onto the outside of your left foot, inside of your right, into side plank. Really hiking up the hips, squeezing through the left side. Option to come down onto your knees, or raise your right foot up. Hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Close off your plank. Option to come down to your knees or shift the weight into your hands. Squeeze your elbows in by your ribs as you lower down, chest first and then hips. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, tuck your toes, send your hips up and back, into downward facing dog. Again, we're going to do that hip opener on the left side this time. So inhale, sweep your left foot up behind you, bend at the knee, and then try to lower your left foot down to the right side while you keep your upper body squared off to the front of the room. Lower your left leg back down to meet the right. On an inhale, come up onto your toes, bend your knees, look between your hands, and step to the front of your mat into a forward fold. Inhale up to flat back. Exhale to forward fold. Sweep your arms up overhead, but sink your hips down and back into chair pose. Hold for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, come to stand. Exhale, lower your hands. We'll all meet on the floor. Extend your right leg out long, your left knee, draw it in towards your bum, and then your left hand will come behind you almost as a kickstand to get your spine up nice and tall. Inhale your right arm up overhead, and on an exhale begin to twist, lowering your elbow so that right elbow comes across the left knee. Opening up to a twist. But remember, we're trying to twist from the belly button and not from the chest. So if we're just opening up from the chest, this is really all we're doing. But then we're not getting the benefit of the side body getting that nice twist and opening up. So we really want to be trying to twist from the belly button. So trying to get the belly over to the side wall rather than just the chest. Coming back to that belly breathing, that nice big belly breathing to help loosen the muscles, opening up all the muscles through the core. So we're talking front side of the body, back side of the body. Inhale to unwind, drawing chest back to center. And switch feet. So left foot comes out long, right foot draw in, nice and close, nice and snug. Right arm will come behind you, acting as your kickstand to keep your spine nice and tall so you're not trying to twist with a rounded back. Inhale, sweep your left arm up overhead. Exhale, cross left arm over right knee and begin to twist. With every exhale, trying to go deeper into your twist. Exhale, come back to center. We'll make our way into child's pose. So you can take either closed knees, child's pose where your legs are touching, or wide-legged where your knees come up the width of your mat. Arms extend out long in front of you. Try and draw out your bum towards your heels. We'll take a few breaths just with arms forward. So let your forehead rest on the mat. Really finding length through the side body. And then begin to walk your hands over to the right so that we get a nice stretch through the left side. And then walk your hands over to the left so that we stretch the right side of the body. Come back to center, and then we'll all meet in Shavasana. So you're lying on your back, legs extended out long, arms come down by your sides, palms facing open. You can leave your eyes open, or you can let them gently close. Noticing how your body feels now at the end of class compared to the beginning of class. How your sides feel, if they're nice and open and stretched. Down regulating the heart rate even further as we come into this final resting position. Thank you for joining me today. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day.